Most people don't fail because they're not capable. They fail because deep down, they don't believe they can do it. They doubt their own strength, question every decision, and wait for someone else to validate them. But the truth is, no one can give you belief. You have to build it yourself. Believing in yourself doesn't mean being loud or arrogant. It means having a calm, quiet confidence that no setback can shake. It's about trusting your own effort, even when no one else sees your progress. And that's something the Stoics understood better than anyone. They didn't talk about confidence, they lived it. Through discipline, courage, and self-control, they proved that true belief isn't found in words. It's found in actions. Small, consistent habits that shape how you see yourself and how you show up in the world. So in this video, we'll explore 5 surprising Stoic habits that can help you finally believe in yourself. Not through motivation, but through mastery. Stay till the end, and you'll see how simple actions can change the way you think, act, and live. 1. Do the hard thing first. Most people start their day doing what's easy, checking their phone, scrolling social media, or avoiding the thing they don't want to face. But here's the truth. Every time you avoid discomfort, you silently tell your mind, "I'm not strong enough to handle this." And slowly, your self-belief begins to fade. The Stoics believed that courage is built through action, not comfort. When you do something difficult, even if it's small, you train your mind to stay calm in chaos. You remind yourself that you're capable of facing challenges head-on instead of running from them. Doing the hard thing first doesn't mean living a miserable life. It means choosing growth over ease. It's about saying, "Yes, this is uncomfortable, but I'll do it anyway," and that mindset changes everything. Imagine waking up and finishing your hardest task before noon. That single victory sets the tone for the entire day. You walk differently. You think more clearly. You trust yourself more because you've already proven that you can handle resistance. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This means every obstacle you face isn't blocking your path. It is your path. The hard things you avoid are the very things that will make you stronger, wiser, and more confident. When you start doing the hard thing first, something powerful happens inside you. You stop being controlled by fear. You stop waiting for motivation. You start acting, not because it's easy, but because it's right. And slowly, that daily act of courage becomes your natural state. You begin to see challenges not as threats, but as opportunities to grow. You develop a quiet strength, the kind that doesn't shout, but simply gets things done. So tomorrow morning, before you do anything else, face the hardest thing on your list. Don't think too much. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Just do it. Because when you face difficulty first, confidence follows naturally, and that's how true belief in yourself is built. 2. Keep promises you make to yourself. Every time you tell yourself you'll do something and don't, something inside you breaks. It's not just disappointment, it's a quiet loss of trust. You start doubting your own word, your own strength, your own reliability. Think about it. If someone constantly broke their promises to you, would you trust them again? Probably not. So why do we treat ourselves any differently? The Stoics believed that discipline begins with self-honesty. When you make a promise to yourself, whether it's to wake up early, to stop procrastinating, or to stay calm under pressure, it's not about perfection, it's about respect. Respecting your word, respecting your growth. Each small promise you keep builds quiet confidence. Every time you follow through, you remind yourself, "I can rely on me." And that's how true self-belief grows, not through words of motivation, but through consistent action. Even something as simple as finishing what you start can change your mindset. Because with every completed task, you're rewriting the story you tell yourself. From "I always quit" to "I always finish." That shift is powerful. Epictetus said, First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. This means your actions should match your intentions. If you want to become stronger, wiser, more disciplined, start proving it through what you do every single day. Keeping promises to yourself is how you build unshakable belief. You don't need anyone's approval or applause. You just need your own trust. Because once you have that, nothing can stop you. So start small. Pick one thing today and follow through no matter what. It might not seem like much now, but over time, those tiny acts of discipline will become the foundation of your confidence. 3. Spend time alone, without distractions. We live in a world that fears silence. People fill every second with noise, music, scrolling, talking, anything to avoid being alone with their own thoughts. But the truth is, you can't understand yourself if you never sit with yourself. Spending time alone isn't loneliness, it's strength. It's choosing to disconnect from the world so you can reconnect with your soul. When you sit in silence, you start hearing the voice you've ignored for so long, your own. The Stoics often practiced solitude. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire, yet he wrote to himself every night, reflecting on his actions and thoughts. Because he knew, without stillness there can be no wisdom. When you're always surrounded by noise, your mind becomes restless. You start absorbing everyone else's opinions, fears, and emotions. And slowly, you forget what you truly think and feel. Solitude clears that noise. It's a reset for your mind and heart. In those quiet moments, you'll begin to see your patterns, your strengths, your weaknesses, your desires, and your distractions. It's not always comfortable, but it's real. And real self-belief can only grow from self-awareness. You don't need to escape to a mountain or a temple. Even 10 minutes of silence, no phone, no music, just you and your breath, can reconnect you to your center. That's where peace lives. That's where confidence begins. The more time you spend alone, the less approval you'll seek from others. You'll stop needing noise to feel alive. Because you'll have discovered something more powerful, the calm within you that no chaos can touch. So, make it a daily habit. Sit in silence, reflect, listen. The more you understand yourself, the more unshakable your belief becomes, because you'll finally realize you've always had everything you needed inside you. 4. Stop seeking validation. Most people don't live for themselves, they live for approval. They spend their lives trying to impress, please, or prove something to others. But the sad truth is, the more you chase validation, the more you lose connection with your true self. You start dressing, talking, and even thinking in ways that earn praise, not peace. And every time you depend on someone else's opinion to feel worthy, you hand them power over your happiness. That's not self-belief, that's self-betrayal. The Stoics understood this deeply. Epictetus said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." Because real strength isn't in being admired, it's in being authentic, even if it means being misunderstood. When you stop seeking validation, something amazing happens. You become free. Free to make mistakes, free to learn, free to live honestly. You no longer fear judgment because your value doesn't depend on other people's approval. The truth is, no one's opinion stays constant. Today they love you, tomorrow they might criticize you, and that's fine. Because your worth doesn't change with their moods. It stays the same, steady like a mountain. The more you practice living by your own values, the more peaceful you become. You start doing things not because they'll impress others, but because they'll make you proud. And that's the kind of quiet confidence that no applause can give. Validation is temporary, but self-respect, that lasts forever. So live in a way that earns your own respect, not everyone else's approval. Because once you stop chasing their opinions, you'll finally find your freedom. And that's where true belief begins. 5. Take imperfect action every day. Most people wait for the perfect moment before they begin. They want everything to feel right. The timing, the plan, the confidence. But that perfect moment never comes. And in waiting, they waste their potential. The Stoics believed that action is the cure for fear. When you take even one small step forward, you weaken doubt's control over your mind. Because confidence doesn't come before action, it comes from action. You don't need to have it all figured out to start. You just need the courage to move, even when things aren't clear. Every imperfect effort builds strength, discipline, and belief in your own abilities. Think about it. No one ever became great by waiting. Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Epictetus, they didn't preach perfection. They practiced progress. They acted, learned, and adjusted again and again. When you take imperfect action, you give yourself permission to grow. You stop fearing failure because you realize that every mistake is just a step forward in disguise. That's how mastery is built, not through flawless success, but through persistent effort. The more you act, the more you trust yourself. You begin to see proof of your own strength. And soon, belief replaces doubt, because your actions become undeniable evidence of what you're capable of. So don't wait for the right mood, the right plan, or the right time. Just begin, right now, with what you have. Because perfection is an illusion, but progress is real. And every imperfect step you take today is one step closer to the person you're meant to become. Conclusion. Believing in yourself isn't about repeating positive words or pretending to be strong. It's about proving to yourself, through action, that you are capable. Every time you face discomfort, keep a promise, sit in silence, ignore judgment, or take imperfect action. You build a little more trust in who you are. And that trust becomes the foundation of real confidence. The Stoics never waited for motivation. They lived by discipline, focus, and courage, one day at a time. They understood that self-belief isn't something you find. It's something you create through consistency and effort. And once you build it, no one can take it from you. So start today. Do the hard thing first. Keep your promises. Spend time in silence. Stop seeking approval. Take small steps, even if they're imperfect. Each act may feel small now, but together, they shape a stronger, calmer, and more unshakable version of you. Remember, the greatest power you'll ever have is the belief that you can handle whatever life gives you. So stop doubting, start doing, because once you believe in yourself, the world starts believing in you too.